September the 27th, 2022. Good morning, everyone. It's 7:25 a.m. Central Time. We're looking at eye. It's a Cat 3. The eye is over the island of Cuba, very close to the western tip. And this, as soon as it gets off the shore, it is expected to become and rapidly become a Cat 4. This thing could become a Cat 5, as many have speculated. Not a lot of difference. I mean, we'll look at some charts on there, but this thing is going to come up and skate the coast of Florida. It looks like maybe go up just east of Apalachicola into the Big Bend area in that part. But right now, there's a lot of population on the western coast of Florida. We're looking at images just as the sun is starting to rise, and you can see all the lights here. These are superimposed in. You can see Houston here, New Orleans across. And again, you've got a lot of folks in this Tampa area, Orlando, and this is going to be under the gun. Now, here's the latest. This is Fox Hurricane in Florida. Again, Cat 3 right now over Cuba. Cat 4 by this afternoon at 2 p.m. Could be earlier than that. That's just when they've got these set up. Everything's 2 p.m. to 8 a.m. Cat 4 cruising in towards Tampa Bay. Now, notice again that on the right side of this storm, which comes down much further than Tampa, is where the damage is going to be, just depending on if it comes in here or stays a little further offshore. But again, Wednesday, 2 a.m., 1:30, Tuesday today, 140-mile-per-hour winds coming ashore, they're saying, as a Cat 4. The reason this is slowed down to a Cat 3 here is because it's starting to come ashore. This is not the size of the storm. You just saw the size of the storm. This is where they're thinking the center of circulation is going to go, somewhere in that cone, and the numbers indicate the probability of, again, by Wednesday at 2 a.m. tomorrow afternoon, this thing's going to be fully involved in coming in on Florida's western coast. And here are the spaghetti models. The two that are crossed now are right here. That's, of course, the Canadian model and the Navy model. They're both sitting right there coming in here. Now, what does that mean? That could be the direct point of where it finally comes ashore, but it's going to skate with that very big storm all the way up this side of Florida. Again, Tampa Bay, if this thing gets to a strong Cat 4, Cat 5, you're talking about 20 to 30 foot water coming in with the tide and with the storm surge. Now, looking at the Navy model, you can see what I was saying. It may go into the Big Bend area, but look at how far down the west coast of Florida that it scrapes along the shoreline. That's where the dangers are going to be. If it just came straight in south of Tampa, it would come in, be a tremendous amount of devastation. But this is going to cause more and more as it skirts up half the length of Florida itself. Now, this is an example of what we're talking about. This is the Tampa area. It's called Hillsborough County Evacuation Zones. You've got different color coding here. I'm going to link to this particular PDF because it takes a minute to kind of study it and absorb the information on it. First of all, you've got, here's Tampa Bay, this area here. And this bottom legend here shows, if you look down here, 131 to 155 mile-per-hour winds. It's very hard to see. Just trust me, I'm going to link to this. You're dealing with up to 31 foot of potential tide heights. You understand what I'm saying? 31 feet. And that goes up into the green areas. Now, the purple areas can be affected by Cat 4, 156 or higher. And 157 is Cat 5, but in the purple area, you can see here, you're dealing with up to 38 feet of potential tide heights. So this is going to push into shore, and they're showing a lot of very close shelters. I would not go to one of these on the beach, especially, this is 21 and 23 here, which are Lockhart Elementary and Martinez Middle School, because this is going to be where everything's trapped. Think about it, pushing it up into that funnel, not a good place. On the right is the list of shelters. The ones with check marks on them, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, will let you bring your pets. The pet ones are Barrington Middle School, and Bartell's Middle School, come down to Burnett Middle School, Durant Senior High, Shields Middle, Sickles High, Smith Sergeant Paul Sergeant Paul Smith Middle School, excuse me, and you've got Steinbrenner High. If I had to evacuate, my pets would go with me. But if you're not, there's a lot of other options here. You can come there and read them. I'm not going to read all of those. Over on the right here, it says your wind speed of a Cat 1, 74 to 95 miles per hour, sustained winds. Cat 2, 96 to 110. Cat 3, 111 to 129. Cat 4 says catastrophic damage will occur. Well-built frame homes can sustain severe damage with loss of most of the roof structure and or some exterior walls. That was the problem where they declared Michael a Cat 4 and then came back and said it was a Cat 5. There was just slabs left. There wasn't any walls. You go to past this 156 into just one more mile to 157, and it's catastrophic damage will occur. Now, both of them talk about how long and some of the problems going back to the Cat 4. Well, again, well-built frame homes will lose most of the roof structure and some exterior walls. Most trees will be snapped or uprooted. Think about this. Where you at? Where your trees? What you're going to try to do? It says also power poles will be down. Fallen trees and power poles will isolate residential areas. Power outages will last weeks to possible months. That's a long time any time of the year to be without electricity, water, things like that. We did it with Katrina. We went 2 weeks and we were 120 miles inland with Katrina. It says most of the area will be uninhabitable for weeks or months. Now you drop into that Cat 5, which we hope we don't see. It says catastrophic damage will occur. A high percentage of frame homes will be destroyed. That's what happened with Michael. With total roof failure and wall collapse, fallen trees and power poles will isolate residential areas. Power outages will last for weeks to possibly months. Most of the area will be uninhabitable for weeks or months. Not that much difference in a Cat 4 and Cat 5, except they're talking about cleaning everything off to a slab, basically. So that's what we got. Again, you can come in here and look. The red area is what will be affected at a Cat 1. Then you get into the green and purples, possibly some lower lying areas. I've been down to Tampa, Sarasota one time, and I don't remember the layout of the land at all. I remember the bridge and all of that. But you get into the oranges. You're into getting into Cat 2, that you're going to be inundated there. Yellow, getting into a Cat 3. Green, Cat 4. Again, the purple areas at Cat 5. I would not take shelter here in 21, 23, and this looks like 35 there. Guys, 35 is Sheehy Elementary, Sheehy. 25 would be Middleton High. 21 again would be Marshall Middle School. Because this is, again, the end of the funnel. Look at everything being pushed into this bay and across from this bridge into this area. Not trying to scare anybody, but I want you to be aware of what you're about to go through. The best thing you could do, and the blue lines, the highways, are evac routes. This could be a very important map for you guys. Now, you can go in and find them for different cities, but this is one of the highest populated areas, guys. We're going to watch this throughout the day. You guys pay attention to it. Use the evac routes. Don't take a chance on this storm. The Gulf is way too warm. A lot of people are going to be surprised. It's a heads up, guys. Be extremely careful and extremely safe.